And first off, I think we should just start by taking us back to that night. The things I've heard in the news from you, Enon, are that it was an unexpectedly quiet night. You wrote about the crime on social media, and share what you remember from that night. Is that a good place for us to start right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, I work about like 10, usually like 9 to 11 hour shifts. So I went to work. I got off around, I think it was around 12 that night. It was kind of like a late close, and I like bullshitted with like a coworker for a little while after work, and then I went home. It was around, I don't know, like 1:30, 2-ish a.m. It was maybe when I got home, maybe and I always I'm always like kind of hoping that I have like a parking spot right in front of my door when I get there, because like lots of times on campus, there's like parties and like they're pretty full. And so like this time I noticed that like, I don't know, it wasn't really any cars as usual. I was like, cool, I'm gonna get a nice spot right in front. And there was I did, and I saw like this sort of like kind of like decked out like luxury, like I thought it was black SUV, maybe like a Beamer or something, and it had like rims, tinted windows, and I was like, oh, that's like a pretty cool car. And then like coming out, like I noticed some like plates from like Arizona, I want to say, or Montana. There's kind of like it's like I'm always like kind of curious what kind of like different plates are like around and stuff, because usually you just see like Idaho, especially in like my parking lot. And so like I came in, and it was like surprisingly like pretty empty that night. Like none of the houses and like that on those like two streets were having parties, which was like kind of unusual. And then it's crazy that it's like as you think when you think about these people getting stabbed, it's kind of like horrifying, because it makes you think that it can happen to anyone, like not just like people who are doing some shit, you know what I mean, like just like normal people every day. And I think that's the really like spooky, scary part right now to some people.
Yeah. What's your thought about the luxury SUV now, looking back? You probably didn't think too much of it then. In any ideas?
No, not really. It's pretty decked out. I think how like rims, tinted windows. It just looked like a cool car, and that's why I noticed it. But I didn't like, I just assumed it was like one of the, the people's parents. Like a lot of the students here have really rich parents, and they have nice cars. So that's just kind of what it, like seemed like to me. Um, and I don't know. I saw like, I think it was a kind of like a deserty. It might have been, it was either like Arizona. It might even been Colorado, but I think, or like Montana. And like I saw one of those cars like parked up on the hill of our lot a lot. I'm wondering if it was a white Elantra. I'm thinking back, and I can't remember. Like I don't want to say it was or not, but that was the only other car I noticed that didn't seem like someone that lives there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not that observant, but I'm pretty. I'd say I'm more observant than like most people, I guess.
Yeah. Liz is asking, did you know that your coworkers knew them?
Probably around like 2:30 to 4 a.m.
Okay.
I don't really look at the time after I get at home, so it's all just like an estimate, but that's probably the range based off of the activities I was doing.
Yeah. One more confirmation having to do with SUVs, but now this is about Kaylee's or some. Can you confirm if there was a black Explorer that was parked there daily? It was parked behind a red Jeep inside the crime scene tape. Everybody was sort
I
of.
don't think it was that one. No. I'm gonna review the footage again, but I don't think it was that one.
Did you see
Uh
a black Explorer that was parked there daily with crime scene tape around? Or did you notice the vehicles that were
yeah, I
inside the crime scene
think
tape?
so. I think I noticed a lot of like dark SUVs, and I just kind of assumed they were like FBI or police or something. But this was like this. I'm pretty sure this other car was different. Um, and it had out of state plates. That's one of the things I noticed about it. I think this one didn't have out of state. The Ford Explorer, or whatever. I don't think that had out of state plates. I could be wrong, but this one definitely had. It was like, I almost want to say it was Utah, honestly, but it was like barrenish. It was nice. It was hard to see, but it was like barren plates, like deserty. It's like Arizona or Utah, Colorado, Montana. It's like mountainy, maybe. I think it might have been mountainy, but yeah. So I only saw 2 cars that had out of state plates. So.
Okay. Julie is asking, genuinely curious.
Pronunciation of his name is Inan Harsh. He told you that he heard a scream, thought it was 4 o'clock in the morning, he was drifting off, and that he discounted it because there's all sorts of party noises and, noises like that. But then strangely, when that report hit the press, in your story, he went and deleted that. He deleted only the part about the scream. Can you make sense of what's happening here with that story?
Sure. I did meet that gentleman while I was out there in Moscow about a week ago, and just happened to run into him. His door was actually one I visited twice, and happened to catch up with him as he was on his way out for some errands. And he mentioned over the course of a conversation that he had ultimately heard a scream, or he came to the idea that that was the case. It was something that occurred to him days later, and as far as him deleting a Facebook post and all that, that was not something I was familiar with. Obviously when I was just meeting him for the first time, and I think you've got people on Reddit and a lot of people who are interested in this case, and they happen to notice that. So
the curious thing, Kevin, though, honestly, he did it after. Like, first of all, we can tell you definitively that he made the post about the scream about 12 hours after the murders happened. So that was, that was contemporaneous. His reporting on what happened in his neighborhood happened that night. And then you talked to him and he mentioned the scream. It went out in the paper and everybody picked it up. And then suddenly he went back and deleted that. So I don't know if the police went back to him and he felt maybe he should have, recanted those words. But it is curious. He also mentioned to you another very interesting detail. It was a black luxury SUV, and subsequently he has told others that it is a BMW SUV. Did he give you an indication of like exactly where that car was parked and why it stood out to him?
Yes. So that was actually one of the details that sort of occurred to him a couple days later after he had originally spoken to police. And he did mention the make to me. We made a decision not to include that information in our story because it was not a vehicle police had stated specifically they were looking for. He said it was a black luxury SUV, and then did mention, as I said, the make. It was located, according to him, I mean, he pointed it out to me from his vantage, just right up the hill from the home. He pointed out it was just parked a few spaces right behind where actually Brian was standing. So it would be to his left, and it's toward the outpoints of that little dead end street. So it would be a few spaces. In this video, it would be to the right, just past the home.
So down the street, as you're looking straight on at the front of the home, it would be down to the right.
Correct. So if you were staring at the video from Brian's vantage, it would have been to Brian's left, but to the right of the viewer. Yes.
Okay. One quick question.
Right
I only have 30 seconds.
Right here. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So I only have about 30 seconds left, but I do want to ask you
Checking with the neighbors.
Yeah.
Kids, the more expensive it is.
Okay. So spend the money on beer instead, not on tickets.
Yeah.
Keep the music down. Have a good party. Make sure everyone's over 21.
Yeah.
If we do have to come back out here, you two guys are each getting tickets.
Okay.
Got it?
I understand.
So it's on the rest of you to make sure the party stays down.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Have a
Yeah.
good one.
Take care, guys. Enjoy the party.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one. And in some cases, like when we get here and where we're going, I would also go contact them because it's non-specific.
Sure.
And if I'm warning them, I better go fucking warn them.
True. And that's the bottom row of the house there?
Which one? The one here?
Yeah.
That one's up on, goes through that where the guy's walking right there.
Oh, yeah.
That side there. Guarantee the stairs going to go right back on as soon as you leave.
Well, I saw that big, tall JBL on the back patio there, so I'll just go chat with them.
Okay, I'll come with you.
Yeah, we'll walk up. We'll start things off on a good foot.
It would be fair, you know, if you're one of these guys, you better warn them.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Moscow 11.
Wait, take it up to these days?
No, God, it's like 350 Canadian.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to pay that.
That's a first.
We don't want to pay that. And next time, we'll definitely take.
The later at night it gets, the more expensive it gets.
Okay.
So spend the money on beer instead, not on tickets.
Yeah.
Keep the music down, have a good party, make sure everyone's over 21.
Yeah.
If we do have to come back out here, you two guys are each getting tickets. Got it?
I understand. That's
so it's
fair.
on the
Fair
rest
enough,
of you, make sure the party stays down.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one.
Take care, guys. Okay, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Good semester. And in some cases, like when we get here and that stereo's going, I would also go contact them because it was non-specific.
Sure.
And if I'm warning them, I better go fucking warn them too.
True. And that's the bottom row of the house there?
Which one? Well, here? That one? That one's up on, goes through that driveway. The guy's walking right there.
Oh, yeah.
That side there. Guarantee the stairs are going to come right back on as soon as we leave.
Well, I saw that big, tall JBL on the back patio there, so I'll just go chat with them.
Okay, I'll come with you. You want to walk up or do you want to?
Yeah, we'll walk up. We'll start things off.
Just, it wouldn't be fair, you know, if you're one of these guys, you better warn them.